I'm meteorologist Jason Nappy, tracking the threat for severe weather this afternoon in Maine. Let's go through it hour by hour and show you those thunderstorms here popping up. They will be severe. There's definitely going to be pop-up showers and thunderstorms. A couple waves of it really coming through. One earlier on around midday down east, around Bar Harbor, Eastport, Rockland, and then also another one down in southern Maine, especially in the afternoon. So I'll go through it hour by hour and show you. So here down east around Eastport and Bar Harbor, Bangor, you've got that line coming through, and it's going to kind of congeal or come together, right? So you're going to have torrential downpours. Here comes the second line after about 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon down in southern Maine. So I'll go through this a few times so we can really pinpoint it and see when the colors get the brightest, right? So that's the best opportunity for those downpours. So here it is, 11 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock, over towards Washington County. Now, this has a much less opportunity to be severe in the way of tornadic, but I would put a line down from around Rockland down to the south along the warm front is where low pressure is going to come through, and that is where I believe the greatest threat for a tornado and also some damaging wind and some large hail is going to be. So from about Penobscot Bay down to the south, Route 1, 295, 95 in the Turnpike. That's where you have to have your guard up, and even into the southwest interior too. So have your guard up there from about, we'll call it 1 o'clock in the afternoon until about 8 o'clock here. See where these bright colors are. Now, if there is a tornado, it's going to be brief, and it'll likely be wrapped in rain for the most part, so it'll be tough to see. Don't go outside and try and take a picture of it if you hear a tornado warning. If a tornado warning comes up, you need to get in the basement. If you don't have a basement, you need to get into the centermost point home, like a bathroom, where the plumbing is, and get into the bathtub and get the mattress on top of you. Even a brief tornado can certainly be destructive. Same thing if we get a wet microburst, okay, a rain bomb. Okay, if you get a bunch of wind that gets forced down to the ground very quickly because of that evaporative cooling in the atmosphere, you could certainly run into a wind gust that's going to be 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, right? So it's that rapid just explosion. You get all of that moisture getting thrown down to the ground very quickly, right? And the wind comes down with it. So here's a look at radar right now. I've got the composite up. I want to show you what's going to be going on here. You'll notice there is rain moving through Millinocket, Lincoln, the Katahdin region, Carabasset Valley. So in the mountains today, this is not a severe threat because you've got this rain here that is working over the area. We're not going to have severe parameters there. And the warm front is going to be right around, we'll call it right around here, okay? And here's your warm front. So about here, from about Rockland south, okay, that's your greatest opportunity for a severe thunderstorm that would be tornadic, okay? This is not going to be widespread. This will be very brief. But I also want to point out there will be a threat for severe thunderstorms down east earlier on today too. It's just not going to be likely as much of a tornadic threat. We need the wind to spin if you want a tornado. And the best threat for that is going to be right around here, okay? From about Rockland, about the Midcoast south. That's where you have to have your guard up even higher. I really think from Bangor down to Waterville, Jay, Augusta, Ellsworth, you should have your guard up regardless, okay? The computer modeling is far from 100% accurate. But here comes the warm front in from the south. Eventually, this warm front is going to push up north, okay? And that's where we're going to get our surge in humidity. And there's low pressure is going to ride along the front. And as it does so, that's where you'll get your spin in the atmosphere. Right now, wind is pretty much due south, so humidity is creeping up. But down here, where you've got this warm front, that's where the humidity is really going to surge when that warm front pushes up towards the north in the next few hours. So here it is on the surface outlook the next few hours and days. So watch what happens here. I'll reset the map. You're going to have low pressure right along the New Hampshire seacoast, southern Maine, up 95 and Route 1. There's your low pressure system. So that's where the threat's going to be greatest. That's where that wind is going to spin a bit. That's where you'll get your trigger for the severe weather. So here's a look at the severe weather outlook for the rest of today. So anywhere here in the light green shade, you see this, okay, light green. This is going to be from the mountains around Rangeley North, okay? That's where it's just a garden variety thunderstorm, okay? Not a severe thunderstorm. You're not getting up around 60, 70 miles an hour, okay? However, if you look here from, we'll call it like just north Washington County, Katahdin region, okay, and a portion of the Western Mountains, the Carrabassic Valley around here, push it that south, that's where the National Weather Service has as a level 1 out of 5. Now, for me, I really think, and maybe they'll do this in a couple hours at the noon update, but I think this should be Augusta over towards Penobscot Bay is where the yellow should be, okay? That's where I think it should be for the rest of the afternoon. We'll see how things shape up. We'll see where the warm front sets up. But right now, that's where I would definitely be most aware of severe weather. Regardless, severe wind, I'll talk about that here in just a minute. So anywhere here from, once again, the western mountains, Katahdin region, you have a 5 to 14% chance within a point, okay, 25 miles from a point. And then here in the yellow, you have a 15 to 29%, okay? So obviously greater the farther you head south. The closer you get to the warm front is the better opportunity for the severe weather, okay? Now the tornado threat, the Weather Service has it here, Western Mountains, Oxford Hills, just basically just kind of south the Western Mountains, really very close to Rangeley, Rumford. But really it's going to be from around Freiburg over towards Rockland. I expect that this could get increased and cover the Midcoast. We'll see. But really, I think you need to have from around Bangor south, you need to be weather aware today, especially for a brief spin-up tornado that likely is rain wrapped that you're likely not going to see coming, okay? Now, as far as the hail, okay, hail also a threat here. Now, this is not going to be a long-duration hail event, but there definitely will be strong updrafts with these with these supercell thunderstorms. And with those strong updrafts, they're going to be strong enough to support. There's going to be plenty of wind shear too, changing with the wind and speed in the atmosphere. The wind is going to be mostly out of the west, but there's going to be enough updraft here where there's definitely going to be a threat for some large hail. Now, it's only 5 to 14%, but it is severe hail, so you're talking about getting up around an inch or so. So you're talking about golf ball size. So you're talking about, obviously, there could be some damage to some property. You want to watch out for this. This is for this afternoon, okay, when that's going to be popping up. So that's the breakdown right there, the severe weather. I'll go into things in more detail now for my loyal followers in Maine. Break it down now for you here on the graphics. Take a look at it. Severe thunderstorms today. Tornado, hail, wind. It's all on the table. Flash flooding. Threat is there too. Got to watch out. The air is going to be incredibly moist and saturated today. A lot of humidity at ground level, but also up in the clouds. So certainly if we get some training and these congealing of the storms all coming together, then you can certainly get 1, 2, 3, 4, several inches of rain, which would be a flash flood threat. Now, the good news is it's moving relatively quickly, but even a couple of hours, the rainfall could be certainly very, very heavy. In Portland, see the difference now in Portland, where the sky is mostly clear, but in Lewiston, Auburn, Eastport, Bangor, up in Aroostook County, it's on the cloudy side. Don't let that be the reason your guard is down, okay? But there will see a few breaks in the clouds, which will not help us in the severe weather department. That will make things more unstable. 67 on and off rain in the mountains today. I'm not expecting anything severe in the mountains for the most part. Okay, I could see the western mountains getting clipped around Rangeley, but for the most part, no, and definitely not in northern Maine. A few showers Monday. Look at this, 63, July 21st for a high, a low of 44. So, I mean, open the windows. Probably won't have any mainers putting the heat on, but it is going to be a bit chilly Monday night for sure. And then we're right back in the 80s here, but that is well below average this time of the year. Now, inland, it's going to be a severe thunderstorm day, especially around Augusta, around the Midcoast, west of basically, we'll call it Belfast. Go inland, go to Monroe, go around Augusta, Mount Vernon, south, right? Partly cloudy, sun to clouds, then partly cloudy. We're back in the 80s, but a 53 degree. I mean, it is going to be great sleeping weather tonight, but especially really Monday night and Tuesday night, Wednesday. Okay, and then we're in the 70s for lows. Humidity is going to really go up high again on Thursday. So for the coastline, now the threat for a tornado to make it to the coastline is extremely low today. I wouldn't say extremely low. It's not zero, but these thunderstorms, supercells, they really struggle to penetrate the marine layer. So they could be coming, and then they get to Route 1 and then they fall apart, really. So at the immediate coastline, there's less of a threat. I don't want to say zero, less of a threat. But definitely inland. So just a few miles away from the coastline. So Route 1 west, you really got to keep your guard up. And you keep your guard up at the immediate coastline too, but we don't have a lot of heating today. It's just the southwest breeze is going to definitely increase the threat more towards the coast, close to the coast than typical. We really need a southwest breeze and a westerly breeze to do that, to keep the threat high at the coastline. What I'm getting at is have your severe weather plan up today, and then tomorrow it's picture perfect 75, 74 Tuesday, lows 53 Tuesday morning, and then humidity will make a run for 89 to 90 on Friday. We're right back in the summer pattern, and when we cool off for the 27th, 28th, and 29th. So more updates coming on nappycast.com and jasonnappyweather.com. Thank you for watching.